Good evening, everyone. My name is Martin Luther, and the reason why I'm here is to talk about the work I did in starting the Reformation. A little backstory to my life is that I was born in 1483 in Elsben, Saxony, Germany, and passed on to the afterlife in 1546. In 1505, I gained a master's degree in physiology and became an Augustinian friar. In 1508, at the University of Wittenberg, I started to study theology, only later to become a lecturer in the Bible. In 1517, Pope Leo X wanted to rebuild one of Rome's many magnificent churches, St. Peter Basilica, but was unwilling to spend any of his significant wealth to do so, even though he was part of one of the wealthy Medici banking family who dominated over Florence. He used people's vulnerability and faith in God to hand out indulgences, which were an exemption for dismissing your sins, also known as a get-out-of-hell card, in exchange for people's money. Even though the money went towards the rebuilding of St. Peter Basilica and it was a saintly act by the people, I personally believe that the Church had no such power to grant people indulgences, and the only true path to salvation lays through faithfulness to Christ and his teachings. I would watch as peasants would give all their money to buy indulgences for loved ones as they wanted to pull them out of purgatory. At the exact same time, the Church just became more and more richer off these exchanges. The practices by the Church in my eyes were unchristian-like, and I thought enough was enough, and on the 31st of October 1517, I nailed my work you may know as the 95 Theses to a door of a church in Wittenberg. The 95 Theses was 95 complaints about how the Church's ways were not living by what was written in the Bible. As you can imagine, many people were not happy with my decision to publicly show the complaints that I had towards the Church. There were many theories that I was trying to undermine the Church, but I had no intention to put the Church in a bad light or try to undermine them. I was accused of heresy by the Roman Catholic Church, and in 1520 I had received a letter from Pope Leo X stating he was banning the distribution of the 59 Theses and demanded that I recant my heresy or be faced with excommunication. I publicly burnt the letter, knowing that even if I was excommunicated, I could still receive salvation. In 1521, the Church handed me over to the greatest secular authority in Germany, the Holy Roman Empire. Here I was placed in a conference with the Diet of Worms, where after I still refused to recant my heresy, I was placed in front of the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, and he called for my... I'm very grateful to my followers as they quickly took me away and hid me in Wartburg Castle, where for the year I stayed, I wrote letters to the Church and translated the Bible into German. I knew once people had read the Bible, they themselves would be able to see how they have been misguided and manipulated into thinking certain things that aren't fully true. The German translation of the Bible was sent all throughout Germany, and people started to challenge the authority of the Church as they could see how the truth of the Bible had never been really fully told to them. When I returned to Wittenberg in 1522, the place had been put into a state of revolt with the encouragement of the radical zealots, which were also known as the Zwickau prophets. I wanted to re-establish law and order, so I drove the Zwickau prophets out of Wittenberg and founded my own church in 1526. While I was restoring law and order in Wittenberg, the Zwickau prophets spread all throughout Germany, burning down churches, monasteries, bishop palaces, and libraries, using the treatment I had endured from the Roman Catholic Church as a featuring point in their revolution, not even considering what my feelings or thoughts were towards the revolution they were undertaking. The Protestant Reformation was what it was called, and it had eventually spread all throughout Europe as the domination of Protestants and the domination of Catholics from Christianity fought against each other. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to how I played a role in the Reformation and how I challenged the Church.